If you're looking for a coffee grinder and keep seeing the word burr but don't know what it means, don't worry, I'm here to help. I was in the same position once too. Today we are going to be comparing a blade grinder and a burr grinder to see which one can grind up on them beans the best, if you know what I mean. Ah ha ha. Alright, I'm sorry for that. Anyways, the coffee grinders I'm using today are the Mr. Coffee blade grinder and the Timor Chestnut C2 burr grinder. The difference between a burr grinder and a blade grinder is very simple. One of them has burrs that grind the coffee, and the other has a blade that grinds coffee. Now, I'm sure most people watching this video still don't know what a burr looks like, so I took my grinder apart to show you it. Now, there are two different types of burrs, a conical burr like the one I have in my grinder, or a flat burr, which is better than a conical burr because it makes a more consistent grind. Now, I'm not going to go into all that depth because that gets like very precise once you're comparing burr grinders and flat grinders, and it's pretty boring, so we'll save that for another video. Most electric burr grinders use 2 burrs, but manual grinders tend to use 1. Now, enough talking about burrs. Let's start testing these 2 grinders. The first test we have is the capacity test. This is a very important test because if you drink as much coffee as me, then you need to be able to make big batches of coffee grounds. First up, we have the Mr. Coffee coffee grinder, which after filling it to the max, it held 56 grams of coffee, but we're going to say 60 because honestly, I could have squeezed 4 more grams in. I just did not want to pour the coffee for a third time. Now, the Chestnut C2 was definitely lacking in this test because it could only hold 22.5 grams of coffee beans, and I was pushing it to its limits. Like, it was overfilling almost. Beans were falling out, and that's how much it could hold. Which is pretty disappointing because when I was looking at the info on Amazon, it said it could hold 25 grams. But honestly, I think I have a better chance of fitting in this grinder than 25 grams of coffee does. The next test I'll be doing is grind consistency. Right off the bat, I knew which grinder was going to win this test, but I still had to give the other grinder a chance because I love it and it's dear to my heart. Blade grinders can spin really fast and cut the coffee beans into little pieces, which doesn't allow you to control the grind size. You can grind longer for finer beans and shorter for coarse beans, but either way, they are going to be somewhat inconsistent. Manual burr grinders, on the other hand, grind the beans by crushing them between a grinder wheel and a non-moving surface. And electric burr grinders crush beans between 2 burrs, which is why burr grinders provide more even grind consistency. Also, burr grinders have many different settings depending on which grinder you have, allowing for way more control over the fineness of the coffee grounds. After laying both of the ground up beans on a paper towel, you can clearly tell the difference in consistency. Now, the next test we are going to do is the value test, which in my opinion is the most important test because even if a coffee grinder is the most amazing thing on the planet, if it's too expensive, I'm not going to buy it. So I'm going to compare the prices of blade grinders and burr grinders. Blade grinders are the most budget-friendly option when it comes to coffee grinders. The Mr. Coffee coffee grinder that I have in this video is only about $22, and I have had it for so many years. So for the price, I would say it has pretty good value. Now, burr grinders are not budget-friendly at all. Get ready to take a loan out to get an electric burr grinder because for a quality one, you're going to have to pay at least $200. The Chestnut C2 was the best quality burr grinder I could find on a budget, coming in at only $55, which is pretty good value for a burr grinder, but it still hurt my pockets, so the value test has to go to the blade grinder. The final test we are going to do is how well they both make a cup of coffee, because at the end of the day, that's all we really care about here. I'm going to be making espresso style coffee out of my AeroPress with beans grinded by both grinders. Now, I will say beforehand that I am kind of trash at making this type of coffee, and I don't have the best quality beans right now, so we are basically seeing which bad cup of coffee is tolerable. But I promise, one day I'm going to make a fire cup of AeroPress espresso style coffee. Now, after I added the milk and did the taste test, the burr grinder won by far. I could taste the beans a lot more than I could with the blade grinder, and there was so much more crema on the top, which was very surprising to me because I did not think I would see this much of a difference in the coffee beans, but I definitely could, and I even had my mom taste test it too just to clarify that that cup was better, and she said the exact same thing. Overall, burr grinders are definitely better than blade grinders, but they will both get the job done. So it really just depends on how consistent you want your grounds to be, how much you are willing to spend, and how much control you want to have over your grounds. So if you are just a person that wants to just enjoy a cup of coffee, doesn't want to have to worry about it, doesn't care about all the details in it, I definitely recommend just going with a blade grinder. But if you are trying to elevate your coffee and bring it to the next level, I definitely recommend getting a burr grinder. Thank you guys for watching this video. You can find all of these products on my website, thebeanradar.net, and I will also link them in the description below. Comment which products and beans I should review next. And I hope you guys have an amazing day filled with a bunch of coffee.